think Jay and Teresa just saw the message. So let us know when we're live, Steve.
You're on.
All right. Well, good evening and welcome to another debrief by the Southwest Missouri Regional Skywarn Net Controls. Brought in a few new faces this week, people that were involved in the events on May 3rd and May 4th that rolled through with severe high winds and hail. It was pretty tremendous. I heard some stories of people that were out in this, and they said the trees were absolutely exploding. So I think this is something, if you all like it, and I know I got a lot of good feedback last week when we did this, we can learn from each event where areas we can improve in as we provide information, areas we can improve in getting our information to disseminate to the people, and to also cover our own concerns and things that we can help each other with. That's my purpose here, anyway. So I thought I'd have everybody introduce themselves, what you do for Skywarn. I'm Patty, KD0AEL. I am the regional coordinator. And Billy, since your face is in front of me, we'll go with you.
I'm Billy, N0SRO, and I'm a net control and sometimes spotter.
Okay. Okay. Hopefully for regional one of these days. We'll get you up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Lewis.
Hi, Lewis Carroll, KD0KNL, and I net control on regional in Greene County once in a while.
All right. Dan, go ahead.
I am the morning person for Southwest Missouri Skywarn. I do the morning postings and help wherever I can with Zello, and also do postings for Greene County Skywarn of the mornings.
All right. We appreciate that a lot. Those hands on deck are helpful. Hey, welcome, gentlemen. We were just doing some introductions here as we get rolling. Franklin, you look a little more ready than Rodney. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell folks what you do for Skywarn.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not quite 100% set up quite yet, but I'll go ahead. My name is Franklin, KD0RSJ. I am the coordinator for Greene County Skywarn with regional whenever there's a need for net controls on there.
All right. Rodney, are you with us?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can't see you, but I can hear you.
Oh, okay. He's on there.
I'll get that fixed in a minute.
Oh, okay. I see him now. Yeah.
My name is Rodney. My call is K0FZ. I'm with Greene County Skywarn, and I'm also a secondary for Regional Skywarn. I mean,
All right.
I didn't say anything else.
That's fine. So have I missed anybody else that's tried to get in here as we're getting going? All right, guess not. We had, I was hoping to get a couple of gentlemen in from the Joplin area. We don't hear them a lot. They run their own net and then provide reports in, but they are a big part of what we do. As well as Teresa was hoping to get her in here again. She covers the eastern part of our area. That's okay. We shall move forward. So on Sunday morning, May 3rd, we had a round of severe storms move through in what was then a marginal risk. And I think it moved into more of a slight as it developed itself across the area. I was hoping to pull a radar up, and I was not able to pull the third up. It was a squall line with some very severe hail in it. Kind of a surprise. I think it took a bunch of us by surprise. Several people were sleeping in on Sunday. Others kind of moved in along their day, and Heather and I were up, but we were both getting ready for work. So it was kind of a scramble to get things going. The warnings were already rolling by the time I even knew that we have warnings in the area. So left us kind of with our guard down, and I'm not certain that's an element that we can work around. There was not a watch out at the time. I think they popped that that's what got my attention as I was getting ready for work. Who was involved in that besides Teresa? Was there anybody here that got involved in that event?
I did Greene County until Franklin took over later in the morning.
Okay. Was there anything about that event that you felt could have gone a little smoother for you? Or what went right?
Everything seemed to go well. I think it was stressful to Heather at first, but I understand that she was kind of new at it. But everything went real well for us here in Greene County. A lot of the more severe stuff didn't make it in till after Franklin took over, but we never did have anything real terrible, that compared to what we've had before.
Right. Understand. Okay, good. Franklin, what about you? You kind of took over on that, and
I don't think Franklin's hearing us. His audio
I
is
think
out.
your audio's out, bud.
Audio.
Oh. Okay.
Maybe
All right.
Dead.
He was fine there for a minute. Okay. All right. That was Stephen. Okay. Is anything going in? All right. So I was able to find a map of Sunday, and I think Sunday was one we were all anticipating. We were wondering if they were going to put a moderate risk on us. It had been well forecasted way out in advance. As I said, Sunday, there wasn't a lot of information out there. Marginal risk, few storms, maybe some severe. We were not expecting a widespread squall line to spread across the area. And we can use all the tools at our hands, but we can't always prepare for the unexpected at the last minute like that. Sunday, again, I had to work, but what I was able to gather, I'm very proud of how everyone, the spotters, the net controls, stepped up to help each other. We did have some new folks involved posting, and from my take and just going back and reviewing, the only thing I see where we could have used improvement, there were some spotter reports that got missed in that. And I'm not certain that maybe we communicated as well to the new posters to watch for those. But I did turn them in retrospect. They're still good reports. So what we're talking about here, and I'm going to share my screen, and it actually shares better in here than it does on some of the other apps. What I'm sharing here is the radar loop, and it's currently into Sunday evening. But this is the loop Monday, of the Monday storms that came through the area. And we're going to talk about these a little more in depth today, what happened with this and why it happened that way. Pardon me.
Even calling.
calling on the wrong one.
Yeah, he's calling. Oh, no. Okay. He missed the part where I said that we were sending a link. So. Oh my. Okay, is anybody in that's in this one? Hi there, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we're on a different app and we've been live now for 10 minutes. Check your emails and join us there, please.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Whew, that's a lot going on in my head.
All right. Here we go.
Patty, you might need to unshare your screen and share it again. It's not coming through.
Okay. Yeah, I think it got kicked off by all that going on with the. There, is that better?
It takes a minute for it to come in, so.
Well,
Select,
hello and welcome.
there.
Okay. We're also doing this live on YouTube. If you'd like the link, we can share it in the chat on this app. We kind of moved on from Sunday to Monday. The storms that rolled through, and as I was saying, these were more expected by us with the slight risk that was out, and pretty well did what we expected them to do until Sunday evening. So let's hold Sunday evening talk off a bit. What went right with Sunday with the Skywarn operation? I'm sorry, Monday with the Skywarn operations. What was your impressions? We'll just go free for all here. Any comments?
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
I don't know what is going on. This keeps on switching around on my different outputs on the computer. So if I fall out, I guess I fall out. What was your question again? I'm sorry.
Okay, I was asking on Monday, what was your impression? What went right with Skywarn operations on Monday?
Well, I think as far as from Skywarn operations, I thought everything went pretty well. I mean, we got stuff posted, we got the watches and the warnings out. I thought the weather service was pretty spot on with what happened in the morning. The evening kind of seemed like it more went further south than what they were anticipating. I know they had said kind of south of 44 and kind of eastern Ozarks, but it seemed like most of the severe weather ended up going mostly into extreme southwest Missouri, McDonald County. Is it Newton County? It's the county just north of it, and then down into northwest and north central Arkansas. So, I mean, that was kind of a little bit different. I don't think you can necessarily fault them because they did say south of 44. Things just happened to go further south than what they anticipated. That could have been for various different variables. I feel like on the Greene County net and then what I got to listen in on the regional net, I thought everyone was pretty on the ball. Watches and warnings coming out pretty quickly. That's just kind of my impression.
probably
Just
need to pause and get everybody on the right page.
decline it. Everybody, please.
Okay. All right. Okay. Little confusion, I think, on how to join us today. Milton was in here fine. I don't know what happened there. So back to Monday. What could have improved on Monday? This was a busy day.
Decline it.
Stephen, please check your email and join us in Jitsi. Oh. Your email and join us from that link. I don't think he's seeing it.
I'll try and call him.
Okay. So Sunday evening, well, I guess I can take off. So Sunday evening, we were expecting the biggest part of this.
Steve, check your email, and there's a link there to get into the system. So they're not using the other one. Okay, no. Bye. Okay, bye.
Okay. So Sunday evening was the big show. At least that's what we were anticipating. And I think there was some confusion among our Skywarn family about, well, it's done for the day. No. We were always anticipating that Sunday evening was the big event. Everything in the Storm Prediction Center talked about 2 rounds. And the loop that I was showing a while ago showed the storms that came in. What happened was the warm front that was supposed to lift back to the north did not. The storms of early in the day destabilized our atmosphere enough that warm front became a stationary front. And that's what held the storms to our south. So that explains what happened. And if you had walked outside in the evening, maybe not in the Joplin area, but at least in Springfield, you walk outside, you could tell that the air was stable. It was cold. That warm front never made any progress back in our direction. So, Milton, welcome. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Am I getting through okay?
Yeah, you're getting through great.
Yeah, I don't have a camera. I'm on the computer. I don't have a camera on the computer. So
that's fine. That's fine.
You're fine.
Glad to have you aboard. We don't get to hear much out of Joplin. I know the link is there, but you guys run your net on a different repeater, so we don't get to hear much out of you. So from Joplin's perspective, Sunday evening, how did things go for you?
Well, I know it's how I have radar scope on my phone, so I track everything off of it. I just sent in the application for the NWS chat the other day, so I'll be waiting for that. So that'd be helpful to have more information to get to the locals. Yeah, what we use is the 444.625 repeater, and that way we can talk amongst ourselves and we can put out information for our area. And then we also monitor the 3.5, and we usually monitor like the Granby and the Pittsburgh or Girard as well. So we monitor a bunch of different repeaters around here. So of course, if there's something that we needed to get to you guys, we would tell you, but we don't really know what you would need, other than the information you already have that we would have, that, other than, maybe instant information like, oh, hey, we got hail or something. But I report that on the radar scope app. Anything that happens.
Okay. 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 He said he didn't get the email. I copied what he sent me.
Yeah.
Steve, can you give him the link on here
I'll
so
send it to
that?
him.
Okay. Okay. Um,
Yeah, all you need is the.
I copied direct what he sent me, so I'd like to have him in here too. So you guys have a pretty tight net. How did that go for you?
Oh, it's okay. We got the some wind and stuff now. Last week when we had that one heavy wind blow through here, I actually had part of my antenna mast bent a little bit from that high straight winds.
Okay. So what could have improved? I think what I'm fishing for here, what could have
Okay.
improved for operations for Skywarn?
You guys did a great job, as far as I can always tell. So I don't know what else otherwise. So it was informative. Um, Sometimes I noticed they get a little excessive on repeating the information, but this time it was really great. Information was passed along real well. So,
Good.
yeah,
Good,
and
good.
Marvin, of course, locally, he lets us know. He was able to on NWS chat let me know some stuff, so I could put it on the local nets here. On the local
Okay.
nets.
So
That's why I
even
want to
though
get.
you didn't have chat, you could still get it from him. And now, if something happens to Marvin, you'll still be able to get it. That's good.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Marvin actually is the one kind of tying the Joplin repeater into the Fordland repeater so that those two can talk and we get a greater coverage with the information that goes out. And he's real good about that. And he did explain to me that the repeater is at a gentleman's house, and when his son uses broadband, that's a lot of the interference. So someday, hopefully, he'll get something on there to block that interference. But it does get a little noisy at times. Not generally during a net, from what I can tell. I think they're real good about or at least mindful about that. Do you have much to do with the group out of McDonald County or Berry County, or that pretty much Berry Lawrence? And I see Stephen.
Yes.
Welcome.
There.
Hi there. So I'll go ahead and introduce you since we've kind of done our intro round here. This is Stephen Krieger. He is the Aries director or assistant director for
Assistant emergency coordinator.
Okay, for Jasper County.
Yes.
Yeah. So the question that I've been posing to everybody, we've been talking about Sunday and Monday events that came through. Is there any area that you think we could have improved in our communications, in how we operated that day or both of those days?
Myself, I think the Skywarn team was great. I know I need to do some improvement since I am now an official emergency station. I need to be more proactive. But I do have NWS chat, and I do have Echolink, and I have numerous radios. You probably can't see them right now, but I got a lot of radios.
No, not at all.
I usually have about 5 scanners running and 4 radios running. So during the weather.
Oh yeah, I bet. So being an EM, you've got your hands full, not just Skywarn, but fire and police and other things that are out there. So your role is much different than the rest of us.
Not much, but I kind of stay on top of things as much as I can.
Good deal. Good deal. And you actually live in Crawford County, correct?
Cherokee County.
Cherokee County. Okay. So, is there anything that I can do as the coordinator to make life easier for the rest of you?
I can't think of anything.
No, I think you guys do great.
Patty, could you advise as to when the warnings are coming out fast and furious like they were the other day, how verbose should we be on giving locations and stuff like that?
I usually advise minimize it. In fact, when I do a warning anyway, I don't go verbatim. I try to sum and get the bulk of it out there. I don't read the last part, take cover now, each warning. If an update looks like it has a bunch of new cities in it, I will read those cities. If not, I will just, if I'm reading it on the air, I will say National Weather continues the warning for Cedar County, and I expect these 60-mile-an-hour winds and half-dollar size hail, and I minimize it. I also do that in my reports. When I'm copying and pasting to the pages, I don't copy the whole thing. I will grab, in fact, on a continuance, I may not even post it, because it just gets so fast and crazy sometimes, and we had that the other day. Now, those storms were moving, and in that case, 95 mile an hour, yes, I would update the towns in that case. National Weather continues for Laclede County. Cities now in this warning are blah, 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 and cut it at that. I was telling them, Jay, before you came on, we do get spotter reports on there, on the pages, and it's something I did go through and pick up, I think 3 that got missed. They got turned in. It's okay if they go in late, unless it is tornado, or they're showing pictures of homes being destroyed. We want to get that over as quick as we can. So I don't know that we had relayed that happens, that the spotters do that, and there's no good way on those pages to put that where we can easily see those reports. That's one fault of Facebook that isn't real great. And since they took our little chat away in our group, we don't necessarily get those expediently. That's the one area that I wish I could come up with an answer to. And it would be almost impossible to get 260 people moved over to another page because they've come to rely on Facebook. So we work with what we've got. Did that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And by the way, this is Jay Berger. Jay Berger is seasoned Skywarn. He's out of Kansas City area. Joined us a while back, and he's just really getting his feet in there, getting wet with these storms this week. So welcome aboard.
Thanks.
Patty, if I could add to what you said.
Yeah.
Kind of what I have tended to do, and I kind of need to kind of get where I abbreviate a little bit more as well. If it's an issuance on a watch or warning, I will go ahead and read the cities. If it's a continuation, kind of like what Patty said, unless it's a major change, I skip them. Now, the one thing that I kind of sort of still do, and maybe I don't need to, is if it mentions like, this also includes Interstate 44 between this and that mile marker. I'll go ahead and read that because sometimes that changes. But
right.
Also, I guess I'm like, at least to let people know who may be mobile that may be listening, hey, if I'm on I-44, I need to be mindful this may be coming up, or I may be getting ready to drive into this. I usually also go ahead and read like the section in the middle where it gives, like the hazards, whether it's radar or confirmed by a spotter, law enforcement. And a lot of times in an update they'll have like at such time this is what was happening with the storm. I tend to go ahead and read those because they're usually different, but if they're not that different, probably Patty go ahead and skip that as well.
I think it's a matter of individual choice, Franklin.
Makes
What
me
you're
appalled.
comfortable with, instead of trying to mold yourself into something you think I expect. I want people to be comfortable with the information they're disseminating. If you're comfortable with what's going out there as a net control, whether you're on Zello or whether you're on the radio, if it's natural to you, it's going to come more fluently. It's going to come in a very calm sounding voice instead of
Almost
stress.
without thinking about it.
Right. If you're stressed trying to get it done, I think that promotes stress in the people that are hearing it. Now,
I get that.
this is a tornado emergency. I repeat, emergency. Take cover immediately is different than the National Weather Service has issued thunderstorm warning. Now, at golf ball size hail. Understand, golf ball size hail with 70-mile-per-hour winds will blow through windows. It will blow through siding. It may come through your roof. This is an imminent situation, and I'll change the wording to something of that nature, so that I can stress the point that 70-mile-an-hour winds, they could take your roof off if it's not anchored securely. But hail of golf ball or larger is life-threatening when it starts throwing debris and blowing through walls.
And I get that kind of there's a difference between urgency and conveying the danger that there is in these storms and just sounding stressed because you sound like you're overwhelmed.
Exactly.
And how that translates to people who may be listening or besides spotters.
Exactly. And we want our spotters to remain calm too. If we're calm, I think people are calm and rational, and they can get through the situation. I have yelled in the mic before. I had a spotter give a report and then he didn't come back to me. He got spun by a tornado. Yes. I wanted to know he was okay. He was. He jumped out of his car and was helping people that their house got destroyed. So, understandable. And that was out by Norwood. It was the sheriff, actually. So, Glenn is an amazing man. He weighs about 450 pounds, and he can move faster than I can. So, and he Teresa, hello, you know the event I'm talking about. So this lady, I'm yelling in the mic for Glenn to come back to me. She calls him. She's got his number, and then got back to me and said he's fine. So, I think any spotter in that situation is probably going to react in the same way. But they need to know that we're in here. Their safety is our ultimate concern. We want to make sure they're positioned correctly. We want to make sure they're safe. And if I don't hear from them, I'm sending the law. Well, who am I going to send after Glenn? So,
Sheriff's deputy or state highway patrol?
He is the sheriff.
Well, the deputy should know where he's at now.
Yeah, if he had one on duty, I don't know. But yeah, they should. They should. Anyway, I digress. Teresa, you were hammered on Sunday and Monday. I thank you again for picking up the regional. I had no way I could call somebody in so that I could, manage for a couple hours till people woke up. I owe you.
I'll remember that. Oh boy.
I owe you my twisted sister. I do.
Hey, no, that was fine. I was listening, waiting for somebody, and then when you called, I knew everybody must still been in bed.
Well, unfortunately, the one person that was still up is not competent to run a net. And yeah, and I think we're all aware of that. And bless her heart, she tries. She overthinks everything, and just I threw her to the wolves. So
That was no problem. I was sitting, just listening to you, watching everything, just waiting. I had everything just about ready to go back here anyway.
okay, Dan, we've kind of left you out in this. I'm gonna put you on the spot. What can we do to help you on the Zello end of things, besides maybe trying to get a few more people there?
Well, I think the problem I have with Zello, sometimes I can hear the person, one party, and I can't hear the other party.
That's the same way on radio.
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately.
And I think we need to work on that and try to figure that out, because sometimes I can hear Cade and sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can hear one spot, I can hear a spotter, but I can't hear somebody else coming back to them, or they can't hear me. And I don't understand it, because, if my phone is setting in the same location, and why I can't hear both sets of the conversation, I don't know.
If you're getting one clearly and not the other, it is probably on their end, and it's the same thing with radio. Those signals have to travel, and if they don't have a clear cell signal, or if they're dealing with older equipment, sometimes it's just not going to come through. There's not much you can do about it. On radio, we ask people to please reposition, or try to produce more power. You can't ask more power out of a cell phone, but you can ask people to reposition, and it's okay to do that.
And I apologize to everybody, because there's times, depending on where I'm at in this house, I may not have cell service.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know it. Even though I've got an outside antenna and everything like that. And another thing I'd like to publicly thank Franklin, because I was picking up spotter reports coming through Facebook into the spotters group. Yes, I have access to chat, but I was so busy posting, all I had time to do was take a quick screenshot, send it into the group chat, and Franklin picked it up and turned them in. And I appreciate that.
That's no problem. I wasn't doing a lot anyway at that point. Green County had pretty much ran its course, and I was looking for something to do to help out, and I had chat open and everything. I mean, that's what we're there for pretty much. I think by now, I think most all of the net controls have access to chat. So
pretty much at this point,
if you're posting on the pages, and I mean, we're just getting like warning after warning after warning, and you see something like that, let one of us know, and we'll be more than glad to post that in chat.
And that's why I did a screenshot, because you can't depend on Facebook. I may be getting a notification where you may not be getting a notification, or some of the rest of you may not be getting that spotter turning in that spotter report on notification. And I think in the future, I would like to see a one part in the spotters group for everybody to post their spotters reports. You post them on this at the top of the page, so it doesn't get lost somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. If they see that. And that's the problem. Not everybody gets every post that's made, which is why I was trying to set up events there for a while. But then if you're watching the event page, you're going to miss what's coming in on the other page. Not everybody was following that. And so I kind of dropped doing that. We can try to resurrect it.
Well, how about, okay, we know storms are coming in, say, we know we're going to have severe storms, example, Saturday morning. Friday night, either you or I or somebody goes in, sets up, this is for Friday mornings for all spotters to post and pin it to the top of the page of the spotters page.
Okay.
And then
I could do a graphic for that. I'm sure we could do something.
And then each time we know that something's going to happen, we set up another one, another post at the top of the page for Saturday morning's storms or Saturday storms. Put your spotter reports here. That would make it easier for you to make sure that nothing was missed.
Yeah.
And it would make it easier for me or somebody else. It would all be right there, and we could zing it right into chat and get it to the National Weather Service as fast as possible.
I like
Instead
that.
of it being, instead of this one having a post and people being posted on that, and then somebody else comes in with their separate post, you know.
Right. Right. So, you gentlemen from Joplin area, how do you turn in the photos? How do you have your spotters turn in the photos to the Weather Service?
Well, currently, I don't think we have.
Okay. So we have a spotters page for Southwest Missouri Regional Skywarn. It's Southwest Missouri Skywarn, I think, is the page. I better look at it before I tell you wrong. It is. Oh.
Southwest
Go to
Missouri
the right one.
Skywarn spotters.
Yeah, Southwest Missouri Skywarn spotters. So if you have them look for that group on Facebook, I'll get them added, and they would have an ability to put it there, and then we are real good about getting those forwarded if they're turned into us. Weather Service really likes those, and we'd be glad to help you out in that respect. It's something we're already doing, so a few more doing that is not going to add to our load by any means.
Was that Southwest Missouri Skywarn spotters?
Yes.
Okay. I know currently what I've been doing is just putting the information on NWS chat. But what we can do is, like you say, we can start gathering pictures and stuff, and I can forward it on that way.
Sure.
And if you would give Patty a list of names,
right,
so she can approve the membership into that group.
No problem.
Yeah, just fire an email at me. It's my call sign at Gmail, KD0AEL at Gmail. I'll be glad to look for them and get them added in there. We'll also, well, you're on that page. You see what all we post to keep folks informed, and we try to make sure to cover the western regions pretty well in there too. So.
Yep.
and Teresa's doing a great job on the eastern side.
Mhm.
I
So,
just recently got this title, so things going to change over here. I know with Milton, I mean, he's great at a lot of this out there, and he actually lives in Joplin. So with him being the spotter and a few of our other areas of spotters, I can keep it running here as far as any kind of uh, IT work, you know, whether it be through Facebook, NWS chat, or whatever.
okay.
And then I've got several from over in Joplin on my page too, on my Skywarn page.
Yeah, your page has kind of done what ours has done. It's become more of a regional. Um, the one that I set up started out as Greene County and has become regional, and we've got folks from all over. Dan kind of precipitated that move, bringing in folks from Hickory County. I know I've got one from Kabul.
I've got
me? No, I plead the fifth.
I've got them from Mountain Home, Arkansas, all the way over to Kentucky on ours. And then ours started out as it was open to everybody and everything when we started ours out. So I've got them from 1, 2, I think 3 states on there now. I've even got some in Kansas.
Nice.
Now, what's the name of your page?
It's so I'm gonna cheat. It says Teresa Toast, Ava Skywarn. And it's got my name, Teresa Toast, and it's Ava Skywarn.
Okay.
And that one's been up. That one's been up was EMA, so it's been up for gracious, I don't know how long now.
10
Probably
years.
over that because we've been out for 6, so it's going to be close to 20 years.
Wow.
Teresa, put your hands over your ears so you can't hear this. He does a tremendous job. I'll tell you what. I actually have learned a lot of stuff from her.
Well, thank you.
Now that I'm
You've been
done
doing it longer
bragging,
than I have.
Yeah, Jim pulled me in early. Once we started emergency management, got to know him, boy, he pulled us right in after I got my license. And I've got I got an email from a gentleman down in Branson that wants to get more involved. He's got, I'm going to pull it up here while I'm talking. He's got experience and everything. He sent me an email. So I'm going to get back with him, and he wants to be involved down there in the Branson area.
Okay. Cool. I'm still looking for a grant writer. I don't know how else to address the need to get the money together for the tower climbers for the 4-9. It is very sick. We are looking for alternatives. We're uncertain with how things are linked together, how much we're going to lose. Pretty sure Echolink would remain as long as there's power to the site. But if that repeater dies, we lose most of the region. So we need to think about that. So if you know anybody who does grant writing, please let me know.
They're not Patty, they're not that hard to write.
And
Fair.
how
You telling
many
me I need to do it?
how many of the repeaters are actually linked with Echolink?
There none that I'm aware of. We have the Branson repeater.
Okay, so the Echolink feed would still continue.
Yes.
It's just all the RF links to the other repeaters would go down.
Right. I know of one that is linked via All-Star.
Okay.
I think 2 used to be, and when when Fox 5 took their tower down without notification, we lost the Buffalo repeater.
Yeah.
I think it was All Star connected. Walnut Grove is direct link. Joplin is direct link. Houston, when we can get into it with a good opening, is a direct link. I think Licking is a direct link. It would be nice if they were all. Yeah, I don't think we've got an Echolink link per se.
Now, I was kind of sitting here wondering, I don't know if it would even be practical or whether or not we would even, want to consider it. I was just thinking at least maybe a few of the major linked repeaters. Would it even be practical to consider having some kind of like an internet link as a backup? Or would that be too time consuming, too much money?
And All Star Link, I don't know. I think part of it is that each one is individually owned. It would depend on the owner and probably be on them to set this up.
Well, just for the fact that they are individually owned, just for them to be linked to the 4.9, would there be, or I think there should be, some kind of agreement or understanding already in place?
There should be, and this is something
not.
I'm not aware of. I'm not in the group that runs the repeater.
I know.
I'm kind of on the outside. Mike informs me of a lot of things and will answer my questions as they come up. What he has asked me to do is to step up and try to help with the fundraising, and I think the best way to address this right now is through a grant. Because everything else seems to be there.
It's just
told me that the equipment has been donated. The company that now is managing that tower, it's not just KWFC, their IT person, but it is a specific tower company that's managing it now, and they're very particular about who goes up. And I can't say I blame them. And the group that they want is $10,000 to climb. So
That's why I'm glad we have our own climber. We don't have to worry about that.
yeah, when we were out at Fordland with the 4.9, when those two repeaters ran off the same, I can't say the 6.4, not the Greene County Skywarn repeater, but when the other local, when the 9.1 was actually on the same antennas with the 4.9. There was a local climber, and Alan's gotten old. Yeah. The knees go, and the willingness to get up that high it's kind of rough when your body's starting to go. So
I can understand.
Hey, Patty, that's Jim Parks, NY0J. He lives in Branson. He's moved here from Nebraska. He's an ARRL-EC and member of Skywarn out there for several years. He's also done the role of Skywarn spotter convection basic, and then he was also done, he's also got the most of the FEMA requirements, 127 and 317, and he's also got the ARREC 001 done. So, and he says he'd participate in the chat platform during bad weather, and he can't hit the repeater, but he's one that connects through Echolink.
Okay. So he's participating directly with the regional and not with the local Skywarn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so his name again was?
Jim Parks, NY0J.
Okay. 0K or J?
J.
J. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I haven't had a chance to get back to him yet. Kind of been busy.
Okay. Yeah, if he wants to join in on the spotter page, we'd be glad to have him. That page is there to disseminate information, and anyone's welcome to post there, or to as long as you're a trained spotter, to get the information there.
He's also
I
on
will.
chat.
Good. Okay. So he's in chat. He's already got chat privileges.
Yeah, it says yeah, it's how he got a hold of me the first time, was through chat.
Okay.
Because he said, I noticed your active involvement in Skywarn on the NWS chat site. Yeah, he's been on there for a while because he's the Aries EC. Yeah, I think so. Something down there to do with it.
For Taney?
Yeah, for Taney County. I'd have to go in and look.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, before all this virus stuff started, I was hoping to start going around and meeting people and shaking hands, but I'm doing the best I can here. So, appreciate the information today. Dan, I will get that header made and I'll get it out to everybody. We'll, post here, spotter reports here, something to that effect. And I like that idea, and hopefully that will get things in a place where they can post their reports for us that will be easier to find. Folks on our regional page on the community side are real good about sending it in an inbox format, and you'll see the numbers go up. They'll increase there as people send photos, send things that way. So anyway, I want to say I do appreciate each and every one of you and all that you do. And as we get these events, I start thinking about what went right, what went wrong with each particular event. And I'd like to do more of these. I might start bringing in some other people. I thought about trying to get a hold of Samantha, but I know her life's just now getting back to normal. Benton County got hammered pretty good. Need to find the right person to get a hold of out of the Lebanon area. It would have been interesting to hear, what the recovery process would be like there. And if they need anything, are their repeaters still functional? There's a lot of damage up there. So, what can we do to help? Anyway,
Patty, I think it was shocking to see the number of people that were without power. I know when I presented that to you, you were shocked with the number of people that had lost power in South, and that was just through the Missouri Cooperative Electric Co-ops, not counting CU and some of the other, non-cooperative electric companies.
Right. That was, and to see that, the folks in Lebanon were going to be, in the Lebanon area, were going to be without power for 2.5 days or longer.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
We've still got 176 out over east.
In Eastern.
Yeah, where we had all the trees that went down.
Yeah. I saw the photos from Eastern Douglas Fire. That was pretty amazing. So we were lucky on Monday night in having just a couple of cells that held off, McDonald County and Berry County. But to know that everybody was ready, and I feel good about that. And I'm going to step out here and say I think Jim would be proud. I know Jim would be proud of what we've managed to do as a team without him. And we've got quite the legacy here. And anyway, I'm going to start a 73 round, and I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for joining. And if you've got ideas that we can do with this in the future, please let me know how we can format this, how we can structure this, and let me know what you think about this Jitsi. I think it's less. I've seen fewer problems using this app been in trying Zoom or trying Skype. Although I think I resolved Skype when I got rid of the Windows part and went directly to the app from the Skype website. So those of you who've been on other lives with me and my computer freezes up and starts making horrible noises will understand what I'm talking about. So anyway, again, thank you for your input, and thanks to all of the Skywarn family that might get a chance to see this. And 73 from KD0AEL.
Bye.
Thank you, Patty. Appreciate it.
Hey,
you, Patty.
thanks for joining us. We appreciate having you.
Mhm.